Hey, craft beer lovers. Hey, unfortunately, Patty and I are not at a brewery. Yeah, surprise, right? Instead of just kind of chilling out on my deck and smoking some chicken back behind me. But I feel like I got something special for you. The last video that we posted, we talked about our visit at Rusty Bull in North Charleston. And while we were there, we met Angelica, who was our beer tender, and we were able to get an interview with her. And she just had a plethora of information about beer in just the area of Charleston. So we did not want to take away anything from Rusty Bull. So I kind of edited that interview. And now what I'd like to do is just to be able to introduce you to Angelica so that you can see our entire interview. And I just thought that the information that she shared was pretty awesome, and I just want to share that with you guys. So I hope you enjoy. Here's Angelica.
Hey, I'm here at Rusty Bull, and let me tell you, if you're wanting to know about Charleston and the breweries, this is the place to go and ask for this lovely lady.
Hello.
And tell me what your name is again.
My name's Angelica.
And she has so much knowledge about beer, where to go, and just little things that I thought it'd be fun to interview her, and she finally agreed to sit here with us. So first of all, how long have you worked here?
Actually, not that long. I started at the end of February.
But I've been amazed because you know every single ingredient in all those beers.
So I've been brewing for 8 years, so I know a lot about the bases of a lot of the beers. I'm also a certified beer server, and I'm working on a certified Cicerone instructor, which is, I don't know if you're familiar with it, it's like a sommelier but for beer. So a lot of that requires knowing like the ins and outs of the styles and what goes into them. And plus my husband and I were pretty much regulars here before I started working here, so we've had these beers a few times, and
Well, it was just amazing. Like when we would ask you about something, you just said, "Oh, that's blah blah blah," and you knew. And then I think you said like the tumbling monk didn't. It tasted like chocolate and coffee, but it didn't have it in it.
Right.
So how did you figure that out? I mean, just from
That one I actually learned just from the process of brewing. I brew a lot of stouts and porters and darker beers like that, and the way that you get those flavors in is from just the different grains. So you have your base malts that like make the majority of the beer, and you get your alcohol content from. But a lot of the complexity and the different flavors and colors come from specialty malts. So what they do is they kiln them or they roast them, to varying degrees. So you get out of that, you get darker colors, you get caramelized flavors, you get lots of different stuff. So a lot of times what people think is like a super chocolatey or like a dark coffee beer where you must have dumped like gallons of it in there. It's got none at all. It just comes from that process.
See, that's something I never knew. So I learned something new today, which is great. Now, you've been home brewing for how long?
8 years.
8 years. Wow. And what is your favorite beer that you've brewed?
Oh gosh. Like style-wise or just beer?
Style-wise, and then what is your favorite beer? How about
Okay,
that?
so the favorite beer that I have brewed, there's actually two. I can't just pick one. It's like picking your children. So being from New Mexico, I like to kind of use, some of the traditional ingredients from there. And then we spent a lot of time in Texas. So I actually made a brown ale, and I call it New Texican. So I used chili powder from our native chilies in New Mexico, the hatch chili, and then I put native honey from Texas in it. So I called it the New Texican Brown Ale.
Oh, cool.
And it's really good. I mean, I guess depending on your tolerance of spice, it's either really spicy or not spicy at all. But I really don't put that much in it. And then the honey just kind of makes it a little lighter and easy drinking. So that was one of my favorites. And the other one is the Belgian triple that I tried to make yearly. I've missed a couple of years, but the first time I brewed it was actually when I first got into brewing. My husband was stationed on a Coast Guard ship, and I was by myself, and we were going to miss our anniversary. So I said, well, I'm going to make his favorite style, so that way when he comes home, it's going to be ready for him. And I named it 7-Year Itch because it was our 7th anniversary. And and so every year I would brew it again, and so we had 8-Year Itch and 9-Year Itch, and I think I missed 1 year, so it went to 11. And last year was 15.
Oh, wow.
So that one just has a lot of sentimental value, but it is really a good beer.
Now, not taking anything away from Rusty Bull, because this is an amazing place. You do have some other places you like to go, so tell me what some of those are
So
here in Charleston.
Yeah, so a couple of my favorites are Low Tide Brewing down on John's Island. They have an awesome variety of different beers, and then everything is just really good. They have a really big emphasis on beer education for all their staff. So the certification that I have, the Certified Beer Server, they actually, I don't know if they require it, but it's highly encouraged for their staff to pursue that. And it just gives a really good foundation and knowledge of beer. So that's like, besides the beer, one of the really big reasons why I like going there. Because I know if I ask a question, I'm getting good information, you know. The other good one that I like is Brewery. They have been around for quite a while. And they have just a really cool brewery space. They have like a rooftop bar, and they have,
I've been up there.
They have a really good sushi food truck, and so I like to get. They have like these sushi burritos, and then their rice lager. It's just like the perfect pairing, and that's usually my go-to. But they have a lot of other great beers, and they have a separate. It's called The Hold, and it's like all of their barrel aged and sour and like long-term beers, and it's a separate place, but sometimes they'll have beer like in between. So
Well, you have good taste because we've been to both and love both of
I
them.
didn't know. We've been to the other one?
Well, we've been to Revelry,
Oh, okay.
not the other
Low
place.
Tide. Okay,
Yeah, not the other place.
Okay. And then you gave me a piece of information that I want to share with all our subscribers. If you come down here on a Saturday, what is the best way to make sure you hit all the beer in Charleston?
So you won't hit all the beer in Charleston because there's a ton of beer in Charleston, but there's an area called the Charleston Brewery District, and it's not downtown, but it's really close to downtown. And there's, I don't know, I want to say 8 breweries at least in that area. And so the Charleston Brewery District has put together a free trolley, and it runs on Saturdays from 1 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and it runs on the hour, and every 15 minutes it is at a different brewery. And so you can start, let's say, at Revelry, and then when the trolley comes around again in an hour, you can ride it down to Tradesman, which is another good brewery I don't think I have the time to name all the good ones, but that is another one worth mentioning. Sarah Gale is the owner, so woman-owned. She sponsors an awesome program to help women that are interested in beer get back into it. It's called Brewsters. You can look that up somewhere because I can talk forever about it. But anyway, so there's Tradesman, there's Cooper River, there's, where else does it go? Fatty's Brewing. There's a ton. And so you can cover a lot of ground in one day and, just maybe have a little bit of something everywhere, or make sure you got enough time so you can actually appreciate and
That sounds
enjoy
awesome.
all the beer that you're drinking.
We are definitely going to try that out.
Yeah.
Had no
know
idea.
We caught you while you were working, and I was just amazed when you came and you talked to us. I could come here and talk to you all the time. I really appreciate you letting us grab you.
Hey, before we let her go,
Yeah.
I would like to ask,
okay.
what is your favorite beer here? What are your favorite beers here? Yes.
Oh, okay. Bearded Tiger is one of my favorites. It's our amber ale, and it has a touch of fresh ginger in it.
I liked it.
It's an easy drinker. It's a little bit complex without being like, overwhelming or anything like that. And then I like Tumbling Monk. It's a porter. You know how I like kind of like the darker beers.
I love that. That is an awesome beer.
It's just a simple porter, and it's very approachable.
And I didn't realize when I pulled it up on Untappd, I already had it twice. So I must have had it somewhere up home. Rated it a 4.5, and I normally I give a 4 for my best beer, so it got a good rating.
So was it a 5 from the source?
Yeah, 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For letting us interview you.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be down again to see you.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be here most likely.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Y'all have a